Okay, now let's talk about shifts in supply. So, next aspect of this. We've already talked about movements along supply curves. Here they are. Here's one I did earlier. Um, that kind of illustrate, hey, if the price is changing to do with things that are nothing to do with me, the producer, the company, then I'm going to change my supply in response to it. But it's just a movement along the curve. I've still got the same willingness to sell at any given price. But now let's say, well, what's going to actually shift it? So generally, this is going to be costs. If my costs go down, then I can afford to sell any given quantity at a lower price. I'm still going to be happy to do that. Or you could say, hey, I'm going to be able to produce more and still make a profit at the same price. You could say, hey, the supply curve shifting out. It's increasing in quantity. And likewise, if the costs are going up, well, then that's unfortunately going to mean I'm going to have to, my supply curve is going to have to shift to the left because there's going to be less quantity that I can sell while making a profit at any given price. If we say take a price P. What else could cause a shift in supply? Well, it also depends on how we count different things. So let's say a government comes along and taxes something. For me, I still have these costs. So I'm still chugging along. Me, the company, I'm still willing to supply at this price for this quantity. But suddenly, the government's saying that the consumer, or the customer, or whatever you want to call it, suddenly has to pay this additional cost on top. So for them, it's as though the supply has shifted to the left or up in price because they now need to cover whatever this added taxes. So there's the supply curve for the producer hasn't changed, but the supply curve that the customer faces, our little demander over here, that shifted. So that's also relevant. So we've got costs for the firm. They're going to change the supply, and that could be labor costs, it could be materials costs, it could be management costs, it could be whatever. And also for an external thing like government tax might affect the supply curve as far as the consumer is concerned, because the consumer is suddenly going to face a supply curve that's been shifted to the left, that's gone down in terms of quantity. So that's also something to consider.